Okay, Dana's making fart jokes already, guys. I don't know what to say. We talk about a lot of things in this show. We talk about being ready. We talk about people popping out of the woodwork. We talk about the pace of our growth. We talk about some good shit. We have a couple laughs. Stick around, enjoy our show.
We're shedding our masks and breaking down walls. Hell, we may even drop our drawers. That's right. We're going Commando with Angela and Dana. Hi, my name is Dana Sardato, and this is Angela DeMarco, and we are Going Commando. Going Commando is a little show that we put together because we understand the importance of authenticity. We understand the importance of being who you are, embracing that, bringing it to the world, and sharing it with others. And we do that, and we're hoping by doing so, we give you permission to do the same. So good morning, everybody. Good morning, Miss Angela.
Good morning, Dana. Good morning, good morning.
How you feeling?
Oh, like crap. How are you?
Oh my God. I am on the mend. I don't know anybody who's watching if you guys are going through anything, but as the world crashes and burns around us, or at least appears to be, energetically, many of us are getting our ass kicked. For those of us who aren't in the know, just think life's getting harder. But for those of us who are in the know, understand that it's an energetic blast that's fucking us up. And I was fucked up for about a month, and I'm coming out of it. And now Angela's like, why? And I'm like, what's the matter, Ange? What's going on? How you feeling?
Oh, it sucks. It sucks. Even my 6.5-year-old, he's like, my head hurts. I don't know why. I just don't feel good. I don't know what's wrong. Because he's just so sensitive to the energies.
Yeah,
like there's just a lot of stuff going on. And
I kept yelling at home on Friday.
She
couldn't stop crying. She couldn't stop. I'm not going to send her. She couldn't stop crying.
And there's nothing like this is not the kind of thing you go rushing to a doctor for, but like we all feel like shit. Like you got to give yourself like the grace to just relax and chill, you know? Especially after like our crazy weekend last weekend, you know, like that seems like a lifetime ago. I swear to God.
Right.
But yeah, like I'm just physically, everything kind of like hurts a little bit. I am just heavy. And, you know, there's other things happening around me that's all part of this energy. So I'm not an astrology person. I mean, I'm not like, I don't know it, but I do know a couple things. So today is Cinco de Mayo, but there's the 555 portal. And the 555 portal is all about like, I don't know, like attracting, like opening for the next thing. And we're in Pluto and it's Aquarius and whatever the fuck is going on. But there's stuff going on with Pluto that's bringing up a lot of our shadows. Our shadows are being presented to us, whether we realize it or not. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But like, you know, you're getting opportunities to see how far you've grown. Is there anything left to let go of? You know, how you respond to old stimuli, if we will. And it's been really interesting the past couple of weeks. It's been like, oh, hello. Oh, hello. Over there. Hello. Okay. How do we feel about these things? It's crazy.
Yeah. So the subject of this episode is really about you deciding the pace of your growth. Because whether we realize it or not, and whether we embrace it or not, we are all growing. Some of us at a snail's pace. Some of us are stagnant, and some of us are blowing through this thing. But there's really first of all, there's a way of growing. Like you have to have we talk about the integration. You have to, you know, have the lesson, and then you have to learn the lesson with the experience, and you have to learn the lesson, then you have to overcome, you have to integrate, glean it, apply it, and all that. And we continuously do that. We did it in school. We do it in life. We do it all the time. But we decide the pace on how well we receive the experience. And what I've been seeing with you, Angela, before we even get to what's going on recently with you, in the past few years, what I've been seeing with you, because you're so eager, it's your nature. Eager is your nature. Eager to learn, eager to grow, eager to experience, eager for all of it. And because you're so eager by nature, as these experiences come to you, you are eager to learn from them, overcome them, integrate them, apply them, and move on, right? And I'm watching this, and I do it too, you know what I mean? But I'm watching you do it in such a feverish way, because you only a few years ago were like, oh, there's a thing to this. I'm going to learn the thing, and then I'm going to do the thing. So I'm watching you I watched you like, oh, there's a thing. And then I watch you learn the thing and then do the thing. So you're doing this and you're doing this so quickly and it's really interesting. It's like, when you're watching a horse race, you're like, oh, Buttercup's coming out, Buttercup's coming up on,
Wait, Buttercup?
It's the name of the horse that I just made up.
No, Maddie. So it's a total sidebar because it's a Buttercup.
This whole thing is a fucking sidebar, but go ahead.
I know. So Maddie's a film student, and this year she did a student film called Dad's House. It's her narrative. And I was the mother Eve, and the dad was watching a race, and then he named Gordon. Hey, Gordon. He named the horse Buttercup. Just throwing it out there. He's going, come on, Buttercup.
Okay, so Buttercup to the lead, Buttercup. Oh, white shadow. So that's what I've been watching with the people around me because listen, we don't have time for how my fucking brain works. But I'm watching the people around me and I'm watching people learn lessons and overcome and people that I'm working with, just friends of mine, and just watching this whole thing. And I'm watching you because you're so eager. Look, let's better knock it out of the park. And I'm watching, oh, here goes Buttercup. And I watched you from being in the fucking field, chewing on fucking clover, not knowing what's even going on, to all of a sudden leading the pack. It's so cool to watch. It's so cool to watch. What was my point? Oh, we decide. Bring it home, Sarado. Bring it home. We decide the pace of our growth. And we do that by accepting the fact that nothing is happening to us, that we are the creators of our reality, and then taking the things as they come to us. But here's the cool thing. When we overcome something and we learn a new lesson and we're like, raise our vibration or whatever the fuck, level up, however you want to look at it, then shit from our past shows up. I called it in 10 Recs, the how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
Shit in our past shows up to give us an opportunity to see how anchored we are in that place. And that's what you're experiencing lately, right?
Yeah. And I just want to preface the
Buttercup.
I want to preface the eagerness that comes with doing the work because once I saw how much I was sitting in the shit, and then the way to get out of the shit was to face it and deal with it and whatever.
Roll
and
around
then the shit
it.
goes away. Yeah. They're like, oh, I love this shit. This is my shit.
Smells
I'm
good.
gonna eat my shit.
That rips. All right, so go on.
Okay. But that seriously is it because once I knew the formula to feeling better, like I spent so many years in my 20s and in my 30s just stuffing feelings away, stuffing everything away. And it didn't go away. It just got worse because I was toppled with guilt and grief and pain and remorse for not dealing with it. So for me, the minute something comes up that's uncomfortable, I'm like, let me deal with it. Because I know what that feels like. And the avoidance of dealing with stuff that's uncomfortable, it just gets worse. It does not get better. Like it does. Yeah. You can sweep it under the rug as much as you want, but then you're going to have a big ass pile on your rug. And it's going to be really disgusting. So that's why I'm so eager.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I got to say, you're eager just by nature. Because you
naughty
have this
by nature,
lust.
Eager by nature.
But you have this lust for life. So your eagerness, I think, is twofold. I think it's that, you don't want to sit in the shit. You realize, oh, I can feel good. This is how I can feel good. Oh, I have a personal GPS. Oh, my emotions are telling me something. Oh, my body's sensations. Like you learn these things and you apply them and you see how much better your life is getting. But you as a human being just want to like take life by the balls and just live it. So now you've learned to take life by the balls and live it in a healthy, happy way while tending to your bullshit. And it's really, really cool. And, but just to circle back to the how bad do you want it? What I love about you deciding the pace of your growth, we get these little tests along the way. You know what I mean? So I know when I figured out I could paint and I was like, I'm going to be an artist and I'm going to, just throw all caution to the wind and I'm going to go out there and do this and quit my stable, cushy job. I had somebody, because I told them in August I was leaving for the I was going to stay the year. So for that year I was at school, but knew I was leaving at the end of the year, doing everything I could to burn every possible bridge I could. I was with my blowtorch going, I'm fucking out of here. Anyway, not about that. And somebody that I used to work with who had opened another school, private school, not only offered me a job doing pretty much exactly what I did so I could do it with my eyes closed, but the amount of money, like 50% more of what I was making and was willing to pay for my move. And it's like, just think about it. And it was like, how bad do you want it? So that showed up. I made a decision. I was leaving this shithole. I was going to be a successful artist. Still waiting on that. A successful artist. I was going to live the life of, I'm joking. I was going to live the life of my dreams. And this guy showed up and said, okay, I'm going to pay you a shit ton of money to do what you do now. How bad do you want it? And it gave me an opportunity to gauge the pace of my growth. Did I really learn? Did I really overcome? Did I really decide what was best for me? Embrace my creativity rather than living in survival and chasing the dollar? Did I really? And I think the answer is pretty obvious. I'm sitting here talking to you about it. So.
Yeah. Well, and that my big one was, one, I left the job to start our business.
Yeah.
And they were like, what can we pay you to, what can we do? And I was like, there's nothing. But then my biggest, how bad do you want it, was when my ex approached me and was like, listen, get a job because your business sucks. It's not working. Or we get divorced.
Let me rephrase that, because I don't understand your business and I'm not going to support you or try to understand it.
Thank you. Yeah, that's actually accurate. Yeah, that's more accurate. And it was like, you get a divorce or give up everything that I was working my ass off for, that was lighting up my soul.
Yep.
And I was like, hey, where do I sign? Right. It was, and it's not been easy being a single parent with no support from family or anything. I have no family or anything. But I really believe in myself. I believe in what we're doing. And to me, it's this, I would just die. I would crumble up and die if I succumbed to somebody else's fears.
Oh my God. I was on a podcast a couple weeks ago and the girl asked me, the young woman asked me, do you regret leaving your job? I was like, is that even a real question? Like, not to any disrespect to her, but like, no, no, because when you really truly embrace your worthiness, because that's what it all comes down to. It truly is what it all comes down to. Because if we aren't living the lives that we desire, then we have decided that we don't deserve that. Because if we thought we deserved it, we would fucking fight tooth and nail for it.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that makes sense. If my daughter was in peril, oh my God, I would have ripped somebody's throat out.
Yes.
So because I love her, she's important to me, all of the things, right? So if I can't apply those things to my happiness and well-being, then what the fuck am I doing?
Right.
It all comes down to worthiness. So when you began to learn that I'm worthy of living the life that I desire, of being happy, following my creativity, the joy, all of those things, then nothing else is going to get in the way of that. And I think a lot of people, and if you're one of those people and you're listening, listen to what we're saying. There's nothing that needs to be holding you back. Now you might be in the muck of some serious momentum of bad decisions. No offense, but you could always turn that around and reverse it. And once you create momentum in the other direction, there is no turning back. All you have to do is decide.
Yeah. It's like being in a relationship and there's that moment when you're done and then there's still probably 6 months to a year.
Yeah. I'm still on the lease, gotta pay the rent, he drives me to work.
All the things. But once you've made that decision, you can't, like you said, you can't unsee grandma naked.
No, once you see her, man, it is burnt.
So of recent, it's just these past couple weeks, I've just been getting hit by people from the past showing up, just randomly poking their little heads out of the ground, and it's for me to not be like, they're interested. It's like, oh, how do I feel? Where was I when this person was, in my life? Okay. Am I a different person than I was? So a friend reached out and we're going to have dinner. I haven't talked to him maybe 10 years. That was before the ex-husband. So it'll be interesting for him to see, and for me to see as a mirror, my growth and evolution, because I'm a completely different person than I was 10 years ago. Yeah. 11 years ago, maybe.
A year ago.
Crazy. A year ago. 5 minutes ago.
I know. It's crazy.
But it's cool. And then last night, Christian was, my son was just overwhelmed with grief. And this happens every once in a while because I lost I lost Joshua December 3rd, 2019. So Joshua would have been 4, and Christian's just jonesing for a brother. He's jonesing for a sibling to play with. He has nobody to play with. Maddie's great, but she's an adult to him, And every once in a while he gets lonely, and then he starts crying. He doesn't understand. And he says things like, why'd you let that happen? And for me, I can talk so matter of factly about the miscarriage because I have reconciled all the feelings I have about it, and I have put, Joshua, like, to me, is still around, like, he's still part of our family, and I have a different relationship with him. Whereas Christian is like I was like, Christian, when you were a baby, you used to play with him, and he started hysterical crying because it's all he wants is someone to play with, and, but it was good for me to not try to fix him. You know what I mean? For me, it was to allow him to grieve in his own way and to support him and try to help him get through it. And that to me was like a huge sign of my growth with the whole thing, my acceptance of the situation, and just kind of like Maddie's like, I was thinking about Joshua today too. So he's like popping around, he's flying in our ethers, like hanging out, which is to me a good thing, like he's just like, he's here. So I it could be one of those things that every time I mentioned a miscarriage, my heart would break and I couldn't get words out.
Yeah.
And that's like where you're talking about the pace of our growth. Like how if I felt any kind of like, to deal with, I can stuff it down and be like, oh, that just makes me sad. Of course, it makes me sad. It's a miscarriage.
Okay, yeah. I'm supposed to be sad. I'm supposed to be sad. And if I'm not sad, I am doing a dishonor to the experience, to the loss of my son, that somehow it negates, I get excited. It negates what had happened. No, because people do it all the time. Like when my father passed, I had to fake in a lot of ways when I went up to visit his brother, my uncle, like the family, and to do a thing. I had to like act more somber. But I have an understanding about how this stuff works. So I still was connected to my father, Papa Jojo, stop turning the air down. It's cold in here, just shit like that, weird. I know, but whatever they do, pay attention, people. Your loved ones are always around you. But I remember having to be somber for them because the belief is if I'm not somber, then somehow I don't recognize the loss of my father.
Right.
Something, what we've been taught to believe.
Right. Well, and they're all just bad coping mechanisms for ignoring the issue, ignoring it and not facing it. Cause I was the queen of ignoring and avoiding. I was, and this to me was like head on, just how I handled it when it happened. I mean, I cried every single day, but I handled it head on, I didn't go get drunk. I didn't, check out. I was there. I did all the things. And for me, it's just, if I didn't do all those things that helped me at that moment, like when it was real, fresh, raw, and didn't let it build up, I dealt with the pain then, I wouldn't have been able to have the conversation and be the compassionate, person that Christian needed me to be last night, and to show him like that it's okay to talk like this about miscarriage, like a loss of his brother. It's okay. It's okay to talk about these things in a tone that's not like,
Yep.
Yeah. I get like kind of annoyed. I got annoyed at my old self with the way I used to do things. So
I definitely look back at my own stuff with a little face palm. I'm like, I thought I was so smart. I thought I was so smart. And meanwhile, even now, I'm going to watch this in a year from now. I see you watching me watch this. I see you. You're talking to me. You know what I mean? Going, you thought you were so smart. Look at you now.
Yeah. All right. So just to wrap things up from my end, because we're going to end with Dana's nugs.
Nugs.
You got the nugs, girl. Love your nugs. So dirty. So we're in season 8 and it's called The Woo Is You. And it's based on Dana's 3rd book in the 10 Rex trilogy. You've cracked the code, The Woo Is You. Go to phenom-publishing.com to get information. You could buy all 3 paperbacks exclusively through Phenom for $30, which saves you almost $20. And Dana will sign them. And it's just like, you too can be this grounded and wonderful. You could be this happy, healthy, and whole as we are. No, but it's this is just constant work. This is not like this is not like something that's new age and some kind of fad or whatever. This is why we're here as human beings, to experience these things, to help our soul expand, to grow, to become the person that we're proud of and what we love, and finding joy in every single day, even when you get, rando conversations and people's heads popping out of the woodwork, and just how to be happy and like a sovereign being, enjoying your life and following your passion and all that stuff. So you have to do the work. It's really important. Dana's brilliant. Like all the things that she said with personal GPS, listen to my emotional guidance system. Those things are for real.
Dude, I'm not that smart, man. I just got to think. Some people like trains. Some people like to write songs. I like to get in people's brains and fucking poke around.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. And I like to tell everybody all about my stories. So, so with that, please go to phenom-publishing.com. Sign up for the Phenom Readers Club. We send 2 emails a month. We do exclusive offers and all that good stuff. And it's a way for us to stay in touch. And click like, subscribe, share, notify, whatever the fuck you do for following our show, help support our show. We really appreciate it. So with that, stay fresh, cheese bags. And now for Dana's Nugs.
My nugs. So this whole episode, we've been talking about, you deciding the pace of your growth. And what it really comes down to is a level of readiness. This is not to beat ourselves up. It's not to say, oh, but how come, I'm still crying over the X, Y, and Z. That's okay. Your tears are just showing you where you are in your ability to release whatever pain and grief that you have. So give yourself some grace and understand that we only do things when we're ready. But here's my nut. One of the most surefire ways to speed up your readiness is to understand one thing. And this is actually the first commandment in 10 commandments for personal empowerment. I shall not claim victimhood. When we come to realize and accept that we are not the victims of our reality, we're really the creators of our reality. And yeah, shitty people do shitty things and it affects us, but it's our response to these shitty things and how we overcome them and learn our worthiness and step into our greatness and become the best versions of ourselves in spite of it. That's when we know we're ready. You are not a victim. You have the power. The power is in your hands. Thanks for joining us. And stay fresh, cheese bags.
Thanks for watching this episode of Going Commando with Angela and Dana, brought to you by Phenom Publishing.